So this Volkswagen bus is back. We're doing some more upgrades to it, putting disc brakes on the front because it is still drum brakes, and this guy likes to be able to stop. He's not used to a lot of classic cars, and drum front brakes aren't that fun. First thoughts, she's leaking oil like a typical Volkswagen. Push rod tubes are leaking some. They've been hit a couple of times, got some dents in them. Rear crank seal's definitely leaking. And possibly the oil cooler. But we'll reseal the whole motor, and that should get taken care of. You pretty much have to pull the motor anyway to do any of it for the most part. So it's what happens more times than not. It's what is always the problem with people when they had off-road rigs for Volkswagen, the rail buggies and dune buggies. People that didn't ever make a skid plate for their engine they were rock crawling or anything, slip off of a rock into the push rod tubes. 75 pounds worth of parts. I failed every bit of it. Unpacking because they decided to use packing peanuts. Didn't know if anybody did that anymore or not, but for me they did. Putting a dual bowl master cylinder on it so that you don't have death brakes. When you lose one brake fluid pressure to get a hole in one front wheel hose, that means that you would lose braking pressure everywhere. Front and rear bias, at least you would still have either front or rear brakes. I'm lazy. I don't like hand packing bearings, so not when I don't have to. Take your extra grease, you put it in here between the bearings, that way you actually have a little bit of reserve grease. Too many people put bearings in dry. Fun thing about these Brazilian models is this may look like a 1967, but it's a 1975 Brazilian. So when you're in the US trying to get parts, you have to, most of the time, order parts for a 65, 67, and hope that they do happen to be the same. Most of the time they are, like still kingpin, drum brakes, big 5-lug, but you kind of just have to hope that it actually is the right part for it because there is no well-written manual on the Brazilian models. And this is a brake kit for a 1967 US bus, which does fit and does work well. Okay, yep, so that's the part one. Disc brakes installed and done. Onto the motor work. On to part two. We're fixing to get started on getting this motor dropped out, get it up on the table, figure out where the oil leaks are coming from, for sure. I know the push rod tubes are leaking on it, which is very common. It seems like the oil cooler is. But get it dropped down, get it apart, see for sure what we're dealing with. We have a whole gasket set, crank seals, everything. Get it sealed back up and put it in because it is a good running motor, just leaky. Very effective. I don't know if that was put on it when it was in its life in California or if that was when it was a Brazil thing, but does its job. I don't know. I am just watching heavy motor, trying to make sure it does not hit me in the face. I don't feel like I feel too good. I'm locked in, if you will.
Pull it over first.
You can. I mean, no reason to hate ourselves that much, I don't guess. Huh.
Ready? I'm gonna go straight.
It inked on me. So now that we got the motor out, got it on the table, I get to strip the tins down, get it all stripped so I can do all the seals, reseal it and everything, inspect the clutch while it's apart, make sure it's good, make sure the oil cooler doesn't have any holes that's contributing to the oil leak, and get it all cleaned up, resealed, put back together, reinstalled. Should be a day job as long as nothing comes up crazy on it. not as bad as the other side. They didn't use as much glue on this side. Which also tells me the valves haven't been adjusted in forever. You're supposed to adjust the valves on these every time you do a change of oil. So if you glue your valve covers on, you're definitely not adjusting valves like you're supposed to. So we got a new gasket set open, crank seal, all that. A new push rod tubes, some billet aftermarkets. They go in so I don't have to take the heads off. And if you ever have a problem out of one leaking later, a bad seal, they just collapse. Yeah, it's really not somebody just hasn't been really changing their oil as much as they should. They had the valve covers glued on. You know, nobody's been adjusting their valves, and you're supposed to be doing that with every oil change on any throttle lift engine. You're supposed to adjust your valves with every oil change, but especially a Volkswagen, it really makes a difference in the performance on the valve adjustment. Yeah, you can really see that walk on that one. It's your side plate and your valve. Good fun, good fun. I'm going for the click.
Dude, I'm gonna do a front flip. There it is.
Took the knee. It took the knee. No, that's it.
Not hefty.
The problem is that none of us weigh enough to actually shear force that. So we're going to have to put this on hiatus for a little bit because the heads are pretty worn. Valve stems and valve seats are pretty worn. They had washers under the rocker arm assemblies to space them out because the valves are inset too much because the wear, and the guides have side play. And it's not worth getting a set of single port heads rebuilt. We're going to try to locate a set of dual port heads and switch it over to that because it's just better parts. It costs the same money either way. Well, while I was waiting on parts, I thought this thing would be dead in the water. But now the guy is planning on eventually changing the color on this because he doesn't like orange. And I've got elected to go ahead and paint the engine bay black because I don't know what color he's wanting to paint it, but if you put it blue, you don't really want to open a hood and have an orange engine bay. Orange is kind of a standout color. So right now, I'm getting to take all the harness and the gas tank and stuff out so I can paint it this all black. It's the smart move, but not the move that I was planning on. Doesn't help anything. This floor is slightly bowed, which makes it just harder on getting the tank to turn the right way to be free willy. Please. About to get down to the barter system. I'm gonna beg. Yay. Considering I'm going to black all this out and everything, I'm going to try and use the portifier and get it back up into place as good as I can, at least. Help out a little bit. This doesn't take much effort to do or time. Snap, crackle, pop. Usually when it starts popping and creaking, that's how you know that you've actually accomplished in it moving. I am the engine. Oh, now I gotta get the Scotch-Brite and Scotch-Brite all this and prep it for paint. I'll be covered in this by the end of the day, I know it. If there's paint, I always wear it. No matter what kind of prep I tell myself I'm doing, I always wear it. You want in on this?
I'm already in on it. Between this and the glue,
Dude, I'm feeling it already.
you can hear colors.
I'm hoping the fan will draw something out. I don't think it will. Boy, I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
You need to take a breather. Take those up.
Oh, my elbow is gonna be just covered, I know it. You want a pretty little tree? I know it's not like much like a tree, but you know what? Happy little accidents. I got one coat on this. I'm gonna have to do another one to get it finished out. We're still waiting on parts. We gotta have cylinder heads for the motor and a couple of small things. You'll see this video tomorrow. We'll get it finished up next week and be back to you.